Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. Today, I'd like to speak a bit about the missing case of Nicola Bulley. Nicola Bulley was a 45-year-old mother who was reported missing in Lancashire on the 27th of January 2023. That's a month ago. Nicola dropped off her two daughters, aged 9 and 6 years old, to school. She parked her van at the school premises. She usually does that. She took her dog Willow for a walk in the fields of the Wye River. She met a dog walker. There are many walkers who actually go and walk around these. They're very beautiful fields. And then you have the river flowing there. Nicola came into the fields, and while she was walking, she met a woman with a yellow long jacket, I believe. The woman was walking her dogs, and the woman contacted the police, and she told the police that she saw Nicola. Nicola seemed to be fine. Nicola was with her dog Willow. They had a brief moment, they chatted, and even the dogs played a bit, and then Nicola walked over to the place she usually sits. That's the bench. Nicola was reported missing from that bench at 9:30. Nicola joined the mortgage real estate agency's meeting over the phone, although I heard that she wasn't very involved in the meeting. She was just there to sit and hear about the decisions and what was said in the meeting. Another dog walker with a red coat saw Nicola, and the police asked that if the person with the red jacket could contact the police so that they could find out the information the person has about Nicola. The person took time, but they came down to the police and they said that they saw Nicola, but that they saw her last on the field. Nicola's dog Willow was tied to a small rope or something, was left near the bench, and he wasn't tied by Nicola. A woman who lives in a camping van nearby, camping trailer, saw him. She saw Willow, the dog, running back and forth from the bench to the riverside. So she tied up Willow. She saw the mobile there. Law enforcement was called, and before law enforcement, actually, the people checked through Nicola's mobile device and they saw her partner Paul and Nicola's two daughters' face on the profile of the phone. So they contacted Paul. They contacted actually the daughter's school. They informed them that the mother's phone and dog was found. Law enforcement was contacted. Paul came down, Nicola's partner. Searches started 6 hours after Nicola went missing. Law enforcement immediately said that they believed that Nicola went into the river. Whether she went in by her own will or whether she was forced into the river, I guess law enforcement had that belief from day one that Nicola fell in the river. There's nothing wrong with having a belief as law enforcement. I'm sure they have good reasons why they had that belief. But what I find interesting is once you come out saying that you believe that Nicola's in the water and law enforcement is not giving exactly the reasons they believe, then what happens is, as law enforcement, you actually ignore the other possibilities of Nicola being found outside, wherever. Because you have to keep your options more open. Because this woman is missing. We don't know what happened. Law enforcement did not know what happened that time. So they should have broadened the searches. But they focus just on certain places and they didn't focus on the whole of the river. That was a huge mistake, because that has just brought us to the stage where that there is more speculation. Let's be honest, many people believe that Nicola's body was removed from us from the water and taken to the other side of the water. Some people believe it's an accident. For me, I personally believe in two things. It could have either been an accident, but then the theory of the accident doesn't sit with me well, because where Nicola could have fallen, that the police said near the bench, was really shallow. So even if Nicola hit her head, she would have still been floating in the water. Since it's so little, it's impossible for someone to drown in such shallow water. And then law enforcement and the search team started searching for Nicola 6 hours later. They should have done that immediately. So when they started making the searches for Nicola, Nicola would have still been found not far from where she fell, because the waters were shallow and the tide wasn't that much that day. So I don't understand how they did not search the whole areas, because she was actually found not far from the bench location. And what I really find really sad, and this is the part I really wanted to speak about, as a mental health counselor and as a parent, I found it really horrible, disgusting, disrespectful of the information, whether it was true or wrong, of Nicola Bulley having an alcohol addiction or alcohol problems and having menstruation or menopause problems, should have not been mentioned. It should have been mentioned to the important people like Paul, who was in the search, because that could have helped the search to get better ideas of, if Nicola, God forbid, was suicidal, at least they could have had a broader picture of places they could search and places that they could search later on. They could have prioritized it, but they did not do that. I believe when law enforcement started getting a lot of heat from the public, they decided to be loose with these information. These information of Nicola is physical and mental health issues shouldn't be something discussed in the media, discussed with the whole world watching. And I personally am happy that the Home Secretary and the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak spoke about it. I really am happy for that, because this is about confidentiality. Nicola has lost her life, unfortunately, but Nicola has two precious daughters, beautiful young girls who will grow up one day to be beautiful young women. When those two young girls grow up, and while they're growing up, they come from a small village called Lancashire, St. Michael's. So if they grew up there, or wherever in the world they grew up, Nicola's face has been seen all over the news and online for over a month now. These girls will have to live with the trauma of not only losing their mother in a river, they may even live with the trauma, because it's unknown,